Please double.
Hey guys, it's Agent over BHA here bringing you a new video. So the great folks over at Switchbot have sent me over some brand new products to show you guys. Now this thing is pretty awesome. This is probably going to be my favorite video this year. This is the Switchbot Lock Ultra. Now, this is their latest generation of their smart door lock. Works great because it will go in conjunction with your existing deadbolt. So that makes it super easy. You don't have to replace everything. You're just going to replace the inside part of your door lock. But they also sent me over their Keypad Vision to show you as well. Now this is the coolest part because the Keypad Vision will actually do facial recognition to unlock the door. That's crazy. But not only that, it still has a fingerprint reader. It still does a PIN code. It still does NFC cards. It does it all. This thing is awesome. And we're going to take a look at it today and see what all we can do with it. And did I forget to mention that this thing is also Matter capable as well? So if you have a Hub Mini or a Switchbot Hub 2, you can add this lock to that hub as well and be able to manage it with all of your other Matter devices. So let's get started. So there's tons of different ways to pick up the Switchbot Lock Ultra. Now you can get it by itself. You can get it with a combo, which will come with a Keypad Touch or the all-new Keypad Vision, which we're going to look at today. But when you get those combo packages, you also get the Hub Mini as well. So that gives you that Matter capability that you might be looking for as well. This thing is awesome, and I guarantee you, you're going to want to take a look at it. Without further ado, let's dive right in. So let's get these boxes opened up here. So we're going to open up 2 boxes. Now if you buy any of the combos, whether it's the combo that comes with the Keypad Touch or the Keypad Vision, you will get a Hub Mini with it as well. I am already using a Switchbot Hub 2, so that's what I'm going to be kind of doing with my configuration. So since I already have that, I'm not going to be opening up the hub. Just know that if you were to buy the combo, you will get a Hub Mini with it as well. So you can see tons of info on both boxes about what you are getting. Switchbot always does a great job of that. If we open up the first box here, right there at the top, we have the lock itself. And you can see it's not near as big as the Switchbot Lock Pro. That was probably the main thing I didn't like about the Lock Pro was how far it kind of stuck out from the door. It was just so bulky. This thing is a very nice quality lock. It's heavy duty. Has a little bit of weight to it. Looks really great. Another nice feature is the rechargeable battery. It's always a pain having to change out a bunch of batteries when they get low. Let's see, there's a USB-C cable for recharging that battery. And then next up we have the mounting bracket. And since you are using this Lock Ultra with an existing deadbolt lock, they do provide you with all the different pieces that you'll need because not every lock is the same. We got some instruction manuals here for installing and getting it set up. Let's see what we got in this little box here. We have another pack that has some tape for helping with installation as well as mounting templates if you needed to cut a hole or anything like that. Here's another cool feature with this lock. They have some magnetic wood grain covers that you can use if you want to help the lock blend in a little bit more or just to add a little flair to the lock. That's kind of a cool feature as well. Let's see, we got mounting screws, a couple of different sizes depending on the deadbolt that you're using. And lastly, we have the door sensor magnet. Now, I normally don't use this. As much as I like to have the ability to see whether my door is open or not, this sensor never seems to stay with the 3M tape, and it usually gets hit and knocked off. Having to be so close to the door lock, it's just kind of in the way and just ends up being more of a nuisance than anything else. If you really needed a door sensor to determine whether or not the door is open or closed, I recommend buying a separate smart sensor that you can maybe add to the top of the door out of the way that kind of won't be hit or knocked off or anything like that. That's all in the lock box. Let's open up the Keypad Vision. Right here on top, we have the Keypad Vision itself. It's a little bit bigger than other keypads we have seen. It's about double the width of the Keypad Touch, but not bad. The fact that it will do fingerprint, NFC cards, obviously your codes, as well as facial recognition as well, makes this thing awesome. It has a rechargeable battery as well, so no changing batteries with this one either. All right, so we got some instructions for getting it installed and set up. We got mounting screws, another USB charge cable for charging the battery in this unit, and then of course there's a couple of different mounts. So you have your flat surface mount that you can use, as well as a wedge if you want to kind of angle that more outward. I will probably be using, and of course in order to use that wedge, you kind of use both mounts together, and that's probably the setup that I will be using. It also comes with some 3M tape if you want to attach it via tape. Not sure that will work for me. It gets really hot in the summer here. I don't think the 3M tape would hold up. But that's all that comes in the boxes. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step and get this thing installed. So I'll be installing it on my front door. It's going to replace a smart lock I installed a few weeks back from Vise. So be sure to check out that video if you missed it. But it should be a pretty easy install. I'm just going to remove the old lock, and then this new one will go right in its place. And so you can see in this clip here, the old lock has been removed and we are ready to install the new lock. Pretty simple. First, we got the deadbolt installed, and you can kind of see that here. Next up, we'll add the external side of the lock, and we're going to use tape that's provided by Switchbot to hold it in place. That way we'll be able to then screw in the mounting bracket on the inside of the door. They give you two different screw choices, so you'll just kind of have to see which one fits depending on what lock you're using. The next step is to pick the bracket for whatever type of lock that you have. So there are several different styles. I think they're numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4. You just need to pick the one that fits your lock setup. And after that, we are ready to install the Lock Ultra on the inside. It will sit on those two pins that are part of the mounting bracket. They're sticking out. And then there's a little slide piece on each side that you kind of slide up to help secure the lock to that mounting bracket. It's very easy. All that is left for the lock is just to add the battery, and then we are done with the lock install. As for the Keypad Vision, I didn't do a lot of installation video here. It's a pretty simple install. You're going to install the brackets to the wall, and then the keypad will just kind of clip to that mounting bracket. One thing you want to make sure you do is that you want to flip that power switch on that's on the back of the unit before you mount it, because otherwise you're going to have to pop it back off, switch that power on, and then of course remount the keypad. But we now have the lock and Keypad Vision installed. Let's move on to the next step and get them added into the Switchbot app. Now we are ready to get it added into the Switchbot app, and it is super simple to do. Here we are in the Switchbot app, and we're going to hit that plus in the top corner, and we're going to click on Add Device. Now we can select Lock Ultra right there at the top. So we need to have the lock in pairing mode. So So if you have had the battery in there already, you may try popping out the battery and putting it back in. That way when it starts up, it will be in pairing mode. Then we're going to go ahead and hit connect. We will give it a few seconds for the app to discover the lock, and boom. It looks like we need to do a firmware update on the lock. So we can go ahead and start that, and I will fast forward through that so we aren't waiting. Let's go ahead and give the lock a name here. I'm going to call it front door since that is where it is. And I'll just set the room to the living room. Now it's ready to walk us through the install, but we already did that. So we can go ahead and click on already installed here, and we are ready to calibrate the lock. It's going to walk us through the calibration to make sure everything is done correctly. The calibration is now done. Now at this point, it wants me to calibrate the door sensor as well. But again, I don't normally use the door sensor just because I have a hard time keeping it from getting knocked off. It just becomes more of a nuisance than anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this here. With the option to do some home sharing across multiple Switchbot accounts if we wanted to. But we are done. We have the Lock Ultra added. We are now ready to get the Keypad Vision added as well. And it's going to be pretty much the same way. So we're going to hit Add Device here up at the top. We will select Keypad Vision there at the top as well. And again, just like I told you during the install of the keypad, make sure you have turned it on before mounting it, because if not, you're going to have to pull it off the mount to switch it on, and then of course you'll be able to put it back on the mount after that. Once you have it on, you're going to hold the lock and the check buttons down for 2 seconds to put it in pairing mode, and then we can go ahead and hit connect. And as you can see, it's been found and needs another firmware update as well. I'll go ahead and fast forward through this. We are now ready to give it a name. If we wanted to, I'm just going to go ahead and call it Keypad Vision. I may change it later, not sure. Location will be the living room as well, since that is the closest area. Now we are ready to pair the keypad with the lock. So I'm going to go ahead and say next here. And it just reminds you to make sure everything is close by, which it is, so we're good to go there. We need to enter a test code. So once we do that, we are done. It says paired successfully. We now have the lock added to the app as well as the keypad, and they are paired together. Everything is ready to go. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section, and I'll go over the config options available to us in the app. Alright, so let's go over the config here. Here we are in the main screen for the lock. You have the status there along the top, which shows the battery, Bluetooth, cloud connection, so you can kind of see all that right there. Then of course right there in the middle is the lock unlock button. Below that we have some various paired devices. So you have your keypad, you have a Switchbot doorbell if you have one of those. Those are pretty new, so I'm not sure they're all the way out yet. And of course there is the remote. If you have a remote that you can actually unlock the door with, you can use that as well. We also have the emergency unlock. So basically there's kind of a backup battery in the door lock itself. So if the main battery dies, there is a battery backup that can be used to unlock the door if you needed to in an emergency situation, or if the door gets jammed or something like that. Then below that at the bottom, you can see there's logs showing the activity of the door lock. But if we go up to the settings up in the top corner there, we have the ability to change the name of the lock right there at the top. If you click on basic settings, we can turn the indicator light off if we wanted to, or maybe even the sound as well. It does have audio whenever you're locking and unlocking the door. Quick key settings is the button on the device. So you have the turn dial for locking and unlocking the door, but there's also a button there that you can use to unlock the door, or if you want to set it to only lock or only unlock the door, that's an option as well. You can also set it to require a double press instead of a single press. So there's a few different options there. If you're using the door sensor to determine whether the door is open or not, then you can have it
alarm based on if the door was left open. You can also set it to sound an alarm if the door is left unlocked as well. If you wanted to, you can enable auto lock, which means after a period of time, the door will automatically lock. This does require that door magnet sensor to be used though. So if you're not using that, then of course you won't be able to use the auto lock feature. If you need to recalibrate the lock or door sensor, you can do that here as well. You have the ability to adjust the rotation speed of the lock if you wanted to kind of keep it quieter. The faster the speed, the louder it's going to be. It does default to high, that kind of gives it the most power, but again, it is a little bit louder. If you're looking for it to be more quiet, then you can set it to the lower speed. Night mode essentially is using the auto lock feature that we looked at earlier. Basically, it will automatically lock the door at nighttime. This also requires the use of the door sensor magnet, so just keep that in mind. If you're using multiple door locks, maybe for front and back door, and you want them to keep the same status, you can pair them together with this dual lock feature. And then of course we have third-party settings, which is where we can set up Alexa or Google Home. This is also where we set up Matter, which we'll talk about later in the video. If you're using NFC cards, you can configure those here as well. Other than that, you have the firmware and battery information, as well as standard device info as well. Let's go ahead and look at the Keypad Vision settings as well. So this is where you will go to set up passcodes, both permanent and temp codes, as well as you can set up the facial recognition, which is probably my favorite feature. Fingerprints and NFC cards can also be set up here as well. If we hit the settings up at the top corner, again, we can change the name there at the top if we wanted to. We have the ability to adjust the face entry settings here. So the sensitivity that it uses the facial recognition. So if you want it to start recognizing quickly, you can have it do it from a further distance and it will actually unlock the door faster. You also have the ability to do auto face recognition or set it to manual. So if you don't want it to just automatically unlock the door or attempt to unlock the door whenever a person walks up to it, you can set it to manual to where basically you'll have to walk up, press a button, and then it will try to do the facial recognition. The lock button settings is where you can disable the lock button altogether if you wanted to. So if you didn't want people to have the ability to lock the door from the lock button, you can disable that here. The button at the bottom is also programmable, so if you wanted to have it work as a doorbell, it can, or you can set it to do other things within Switchbot as well, so that's kind of cool. You have the ability to disable the keypad altogether if you wanted to. So maybe you're going away out of town or something and you don't want anybody to have the ability to even attempt to use the keypad, you can disable it and it will not work at all. It does have an alert set up if the device is removed. So if somebody tried to remove the keypad or steal it, you would get an alert notifying you that the keypad had been removed. You could turn that off, not sure why you would ever want to. Audio settings allows us to adjust the volume. Fast unlock is a feature that will allow the lock to respond faster to unlock commands. Just keep in mind that it will drain the battery faster. Device pairing is where we paired the keypad, so you can unpair them if you decide you didn't want to use the Keypad Vision anymore. You can separate it from the door lock. Then lastly, of course, you can check firmware info and device info down here at the bottom, but that's pretty much all the settings that we have for both the lock and the keypad. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section and get the lock added to Home Assistant via Matter. So getting the new lock added into Matter is pretty easy, especially since I already have the Switchbot 2 hub online and integrated into Matter. So all we really need to do is go into the settings for the Switchbot Hub 2. We're going to go down to the Matter setup section. and we want to add the new lock as a secondary device on the hub. Now, once that is done, we should then be able to go into Home Assistant or pretty much wherever we have Matter configured. But we're going to go into Home Assistant here, and then we'll go into the Matter section. Since I already have the Hub 2 added, it should pretty much already populate the new lock. And as you can see here in the list, we already have the new lock showing up in Home Assistant, so we can try unlocking and locking right there from Home Assistant. And you can see the alerts are already popping up from the Switchbot app showing that the door is locked and unlocked. So we are good to go. Everything is working great. It was that simple. Let's go ahead and move on to the last section, and I will give you my final thoughts. So my final thoughts. So the Switchbot Lock Ultra is probably my favorite smart lock to date. Now, saying that, I'm talking about the Switchbot Lock Ultra combined with the Keypad Vision. I mean, that's probably the coolest feature I've seen on a smart door lock. Having the ability to basically walk up to the door, and as you're getting close, that Keypad Vision will see your face and do the facial recognition and unlock your door. That is amazing. I mean, just think about it. Your hands are full, you're carrying in a load of groceries. You don't have to worry about trying to fumble around and get your finger up there to unlock it or even type in a code. You just kind of give that Keypad Vision a chance to unlock the door, and boom, you're in and good to go. You combine that with a Matter capable hub, and you got that much more capabilities. Another really cool feature with the door lock is the fact that now they are finally using rechargeable batteries. And not only for the door lock, but you got a rechargeable battery for the Keypad Vision as well. So that's pretty awesome in itself. No more changing out all those AA or AAA batteries on the smart door lock. You just plug it in every once in a while to give it a good charge, maybe overnight, and then it's good for another, few months. With the Keypad Vision, of course, you have the facial recognition. You could also use NFC cards. You can do your code just like you might want to give a guest or something that may be visiting your house. And then, of course, you still have the ability to do fingerprint as well. So all those different options, of course, having the ability to unlock from the app itself really makes it great. And don't forget, there are several different ways to purchase this door lock. So maybe you just want the door lock and you don't need anything else right now. You can do that. You can get the combo pack that comes with the Keypad Vision and the new Hub Mini. You also can do a combo pack with the Keypad Touch if you aren't looking for that facial recognition, or maybe you don't want to go all in on the latest and greatest keypad. Tons of different options there. Everything can be purchased together or separate. So head over to Switchbot's website. I'll have links in the description below for Switchbot's website as well as their Amazon storefront. Go over there, check them out. If you're not interested in this particular lock, I guarantee you'll find something that you do like.
I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all the Burns home automation merchandise. And if you're looking for the latest smart home gear, you're going to want to check out SMONet. I'll have a link in the description below. Head over there and see what specials they currently have running. If you're looking for the latest smart window treatment, you're going to want to check out Smart Wings. I'll have a link in the description below for their site as well. Head over there and see what specials they currently have running. If you're looking for SIM cards for all of your 4G smart home gear, you're going to want to check out Eiotclub. I'll have a link in the description below. Head over there and see what specials they have running on their SIM cards. We can't forget about Eufy. Eufy has tons of smart home gear. You're going to want to check them out for yourself. Anything from cameras to vacuums to all kinds of other stuff. Definitely worth checking out. If you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, you're going to want to check out Robinhood. I'll have a link in the description below for them as well. If you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. And you have to be securing your internet traffic. And no better way to do that than PrivadoVPN. I'll have a link in the description below. head over there and see what specials they currently have running on their VPN service. As always, if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. And if you don't see a video out there that you would like to see, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, see you guys around.